This week on TechRap, the world's most beautiful Android smartphone gets an update. Meet the new HTC One. Facebook buys virtual reality company Oculus for $2 billion. And it's the first StarMobile smartphone that's priced higher than 15,000 pesos. Is the StarMobile Octa worth every peso? Hi, I'm Michael Josh, and this is TechRap, your weekly source for tech news, gadget reviews, app recommendations, and social media tips. HTC unveils the much-anticipated successor to its flagship smartphone, the HTC One, in simultaneous events in New York and London. The HTC One M8 is slightly taller, wider, and heavier, but looks pretty much like its predecessor. With its aluminum unibody construction that is more rounded and tapered on its corners and sides, it still is the most beautiful Android smartphone out there. The headline feature of the new One is a third camera located on its back side that enables Litro-style refocusing after a photo is taken. Its front-facing camera also gets an upgrade from 2.1 to 5 megapixels. But ironically, its main ultra-pixel camera is still a measly 4 megapixels. HTC says the camera now performs better in daylight, correcting the blown-out highlights we complained about in our smartphone camera shootout last year. The Full HD display is also slightly larger. It's now 5 inches, up from 4.7 on the original One. Boom sound is also 25% louder. Rounding up the spec sheet, a Snapdragon 801 processor and 2 gigabytes of RAM. Here's how it looks like side by side with the Samsung Galaxy S5 and the Sony Xperia Z2. The new HTC One will be available in gray, silver, and gold. Unlocked and developer editions are available via htc.com for under $650. A Google Play edition running stock Android will also be available next week. Facebook reaches an agreement to acquire Oculus VR for $2 billion, or about 90.1 billion pesos. Oculus VR makes the yet-to-be-released Oculus Rift virtual reality headset. It has received more than 75,000 orders since its humble beginnings as a Kickstarter project. Facebook says virtual reality will be the next communications platform, but fans are concerned at what the Facebook acquisition means to gaming. Speaking to fans during a Q&A on Reddit, Oculus founder Palmer Luckey calls the acquisition more of a partnership. He says, quote, Facebook is going to give us access to massive resources, but lets us operate independently on our own vision. Exactly what will Facebook do with VR technology? The wait begins now. Microsoft's acquisition of Nokia's phone business is delayed, but still happening. The takeover is now expected to happen in April 2014. Both companies assure they remain committed to the transaction. Approval from certain regulatory bodies in Asia appears to be the cause of the delay. Microsoft says the acquisition will allow them to, quote, accelerate innovation and market adoption for Windows phones. Samsung's new flagship smartphone, the Galaxy S5, goes on sale in Korea ahead of the tech giant's planned April 11 global release date. Samsung isn't too happy about being preempted. Korean telcos are currently facing state-imposed penalties for illegal phone subsidies. The penalty of SK Telecom, Korea's largest telecommunications company, doesn't start till April 5, so it started selling the phone on Thursday, March 27. If you're in the Philippines, you can pre-order the phone from either Globe or Smart. We'll provide links to the respective pages on our article page or in the description if you're watching on YouTube. Globe offers the phone free on My Super Plan 2499 with a 24-month contract, while Smart offers the phone free on Plan 2000 with a 30-month lock-in. Are you addicted to your smartphone and unable to put it down? UNICEF puts out a challenge for users to not touch their smartphones for at least 10 minutes in exchange for 1 day of clean water for a child in need. That is the premise of the TAP Project. Up for the challenge? On your smartphones, visit tap.unicefusa.org. Or if you want to help but can't part with your phone, visit the same URL using your web browser, where you can donate as little as $5, which is worth 200 days of clean water for one person. One of the immediate beneficiaries of the project are children affected by the devastating Typhoon Haiyan, which hit the Philippines in November 2013. Run, jump, and slide your way out of the Wicked Witch's kitchen to avoid ending up her snack. That is the main backstory of Line's widely popular game, Cookie Run. With over 10 million downloads, Cookie Run is easily one of the most popular pocket games by Line, a messaging and social networking app available on iOS and Android. If the protagonist looks familiar, that's because it's the same character in the smartphone game Oven Break, whose design and mechanics are the same, but without the social element. The game is pretty straightforward. It's a platform runner where you dodge obstacles and jump over pitfalls as you collect coins, jellies, and other power-ups along the way. Sounds simple and easy, right? Not quite. While the game starts easy, you'll find it gets more intense the longer you play. What makes Cookie Run different from most platform runners is its energy bar, located on the top left of the screen. Unlike other runners where you play until you die, the energy bar on Cookie Run gradually decreases the further you run. Also, instead of dying immediately, the energy bar instead takes a huge hit when you fail to avoid an obstacle. To run further, you'll need to collect potions, a power-up that refills your energy bar. Other power-ups include Giant Jelly that turns you big and invincible, and Blast Jelly that gives you a sudden burst of speed and power. Or collect letters that spell bonus time for a goodie-filled run through the clouds. While the number of coins you collect can be used to buy game upgrades. Like Candy Crush, you need hearts to play. You only have 5, with additional hearts replenished every 10 minutes. In-app purchases buy you more hearts and keep this iOS and Android game free to play. There's a lot more you can do, like hatch a new pet, a sidekick that runs along with you, or buy a new character, each with a different set of powers. To play Cookie Run, you'll need a Line account, which opens up a host of networking possibilities, like challenging a friend to beat your high score, or just brag if you feel like it. Overall, Cookie Run is a fun game that should provide enough entertainment whenever you want to take a quick break. It's only mildly addicting, but there are enough new elements to make you want to keep playing. Announced last week, StarMobile's HTC One lookalike, the Octa, is the first smartphone from a Philippine brand to breach the 15,000 peso mark. While the price takes some getting used to, here's why we think this emerging market should embrace this mid-range smartphone with high-end specs. StarMobile has outdone itself again. The Octa, which goes on sale this week, pushes boundaries. The phone breaks an invisible 15,000 peso boundary never before crossed by a Philippine smartphone brand. Cherry Mobile's most pricey phone is the Cosmo Z2, which is just under 13,000 pesos. My phone's Agua Iceberg Mini is similarly priced at 12,888. The StarMobile Octa is 10 pesos shy of 17,000 pesos. The move signals a shift towards a more premium space. The StarMobile Octa has specs comparable to any high-end flagship smartphone today, but at half the cost. A 1.7 GHz 8-core MediaTek processor, 2 GB of RAM, a Full HD display, 32 GB of storage, and a 2,300 mAh battery. All in a new form factor that's very much reminiscent of the HTC One, sans the speaker grills on the top and bottom of the display. The phone is available in black, but you'll want the Octa in red. In person, the metallic red Octa is an eye-catching shade that is closer to purple than orange. Made of 2 pieces, an aluminum top piece that frames the 5-inch display, and a non-removable plastic back plate. While the overall look and feel of the phone is not like anything we've seen before from StarMobile, the phone's weight is not evenly distributed and doesn't feel as solid as, say, the Diamond X1. Capacitive buttons are built into the phone's glass panel. The only physical buttons on the device are located on the right side. On its left, dual micro SIM card slots. Built-in microphones are located under the rear camera and by the micro USB port on the bottom of the device. Speakers on its backside are impressively loud but lack sufficient bass. The Octa comes with an 18-megapixel main camera. Images came out pretty good. Although, the phone had trouble focusing in low light, and its autofocus wasn't always accurate at close range. Worth mentioning is the wide-angle 8-megapixel front-facing camera. Held an arm's length away, the camera can fit up to 5 people, and because selfies are so important these days, users will also appreciate the built-in front-facing flash for better selfies in low light. Software-wise, unlike the Diamond X1, there was hardly any customization done to the Octa. The phone feels pretty much like stock Jelly Bean. The one UI change is a faster, more feature-rich camera. Overall, performance is steady. Benchmarking tests were an impressive 27,717. For the first time on a Philippine smartphone, the Octa also comes with NFC connectivity for tap transfers and wireless charging. For a limited time, StarMobile is bundling a wireless charging stand that doubles as a Bluetooth speaker. With these additions, the only missing feature is LTE. So, should you buy the Octa? If you have an extra 3,000 pesos to spare, that will get you NFC and wireless charging. Otherwise, we recommend you save the money and get the feature-rich StarMobile Diamond X1 instead. And that was TechRap. For the latest tech news, visit rappler.com/technology. Follow Rappler on social media, join the conversation online, and send us emails. All the details are below. That's all for this week, folks. I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.